from the Ticats Audio Network. This is Ticats Today with Louie Butko.
Yes, it is Ticats Today for a Tuesday, August the 9th, 2022. Hope you're having a good start to your week. Thanks for checking us out here on the Ticats Audio Network. Louie Butko, as the Hamilton Ticats returned to Tim Hortons Field for the first time since Saturday's loss in Toronto, and most of the Ticats returned to the field. As I'll let you know, that Dane Evans did not practice today, and we had a chance to talk to Coach after practice, but it was just me, and we ran into some technical issues, and I'm going to be completely honest with you, some technical issues that were out of our control, so we don't have audio from Coach, and I know I say we always have audio from Coach, but unfortunately today we do not. That's okay, because it was just me there, and I really only had one question, and that's where was Dane? Coach said, quote, yeah, Dane needed a day, obviously. It was a real light day today anyway. We just went out there and did some walkthrough, and Matt took the majority of the snaps. So the injury report will tell us more. I am not privy to the injury report before anyone else is. It's Ticats.ca, CFL.ca. By the time you're listening to this show, we'll probably have a more specific reason as to why Dane Evans didn't practice. But again, that quote from Coach, he just needed a day. He said it was a real light day today anyway. And Matt Schultz did take the majority of the snaps at practice today. So, I mean, I don't want to say it's a big story. Coach saying he needed a day. And again, the injury report will tell us more specifically why Dane missed today. So by the time the show comes out, Ticats.ca, CFL.ca probably has that answer for you. And we'll get more as the week goes on. All right, coming up on today's show, we're going to hear from Don Jackson. We'll hear from Micah Johnson. And we don't have Coach O sound, but we do have a coach. I will have some Tuesday afternoon salutations with Coach Sal. John Salavantis will be by to give us his thoughts on Saturday's game and look ahead to Friday night against the Argos once again. First time the Argos coming into Hamilton this season. You go to Ticats.ca/tickets. All right, let's hear from a guy coming off a big game, Don Jackson. We named him our top performer and caught up with him after practice today. And here's what he had to say.
You learn from everything that happens before and try to apply it as you keep going. I've been on bad teams, I've been on good teams, and all I know is the one thing that's consistent is you can never stop fighting. Like, you got to keep chopping. You got to keep coming to work every day with a positive attitude and outlook, and just go to work, man. That's simply what we got to do, is continue to work. There's no end-all, be-all situation right now. Everything's in front of us, and we have to act like it is. We have to act like it is. Next man up is always our motto here, and it's important for us to exercise that as often as we can and understand that. But losing BA is huge. It's huge. It's huge for the morale of the team. It's huge for our offense. He's a big playmaker, and every opportunity there is for him to make the call, he answers. So. Seeing a guy like that down, it crushes us, inside and out. But like I said a few days ago, we gotta just heal together. So one, that's by supporting him, because he's always supported everybody else in dark times. So we gotta support him and play better in his honor. Sometimes it doesn't. I'm a guy who, a lot of guys kind of look to my energy and kind of like the things that I say. But sometimes, for me right now, it's one of the moments where I'm trying to kind of just sit back and analyze and not try to take this big grasp or grip on everything that's happening. Just kind of just be water right now, be fluid with how everything is going, and lead in other ways rather than just being the guy that's going to talk guys up or get guys going emotionally. So right now I'm just trying to learn from the position that we're in and find a way how to lead the team moving forward. I did the spin-a-rooney or whatever you want to call it. I used to always do that when I was younger. I'm just trying to find a way to bring some excitement, some fun out of our group, so that everybody don't feel like, they kind of like walking on eggshells. And every opportunity, especially when you get in the box, you got to live it, man. You got to live it. And whatever I can do to do that, to have fun in that moment, I'm going to do it. And that's just a start. We're going to get back in the box, and we're going to keep coming up with different things.
That is Don Jackson as we caught up with him after practice today, talking about a couple things, talking about the dance he did after he scored that touchdown at BMO Saturday, and also talking about Braylon Addison. And again, if you have been around the team, if you've listened to Coach in the scrums, you know that he is not one who gives information up despite how many times we try to press him on it. He's very by the book, and again, once the injury report is out, we'll be able to follow up more specifically when it comes to guys like Braylon and other guys who suffered some injuries on Saturday. So we'll keep our eye on that throughout the practice week. And again, hard to read too much into what we saw at practice today. It was a very, very light walkthrough. And again, one more practice and a walkthrough. Hopefully we'll get more information as the week goes on here. All right, let's hear from Micah Johnson. Here he is after practice today.
Oh, yeah, it's just, football is a game of adjustments, obviously. I think they made some good adjustments, and so it's on us to come back and readjust. I think we did a good job in both half, honestly. It's kind of one of those games that came down to a couple plays here. We gave up a couple explosions at the wrong time. I think we only had 2 explosions, but they were timely ones. So for us, it's just about finding another way to execute at a higher level for all 4 quarters. Right, it definitely is for us. Anytime you got a loss, it kind of sits, with a bitter taste in your mouth. Thankfully for us, it was a short week, so we can come out and, not necessarily redeem ourselves, but play better, for us as a team. So for us, we're happy that we're able to come out Friday.
It's been said a lot in this building that the only thing guaranteed is adversity. When you're going through it like you are right now, where your record's at and the injuries are piling up, is that tested a little more?
It has been. Honestly, it's been tested the whole season, and for whatever reason, we've been hit with a lot of adversity this first half of the season. But just guys come in every day with the right mindset and fight, and it starts with the coaching staff up top. Everybody's extremely positive, and we've done a lot of good things. And it's hard with the losses. It's kind of hard to recognize all the good ball you've played. I think we played a lot of good ball here. It's just about fine-tuning some things and getting, the right execution down at the right time so we can kind of finish these games.
So that being said, you've played on a lot of good teams. What have you seen that are similar from your Grey Cups winning teams to what you see with this group that makes you believe that, yes, you can still make the Grey Cup and win it?
I think we have extremely high talent level in the room. I think it's going to show even more with the injuries we have. I think we're a deep team at a lot of positions, and for me, I think it's camaraderie as well. I think it's kind of one of those things that doesn't get talked about as much. But on any championship team I've been on, we've been a real close group, and I think we got a close group here, and we're getting closer. And I think the adversity is kind of pushing us and not forcing us, but we have no choice but to be close at times like this. So I think it'll really pay off down the line of the season. We kind of just got to stay the course. Man, it felt good, man. We all felt good to see Big Teddy up there, man. He does such a great job, man. He's a good leader, and he puts the work in, man. And Teddy a good dude, so you're always happy for those guys. And he's real supportive. He supports everybody in the group. I think we have a real supportive group. Everybody wants each other to win. Everybody wants each other to eat, and I think we got the best interior in the CFL, so we were just happy he was able to, get that stamp on there because he's been playing good ball all year. Yeah. Teddy a real dude, man. He's been supportive and cool the whole time. It hasn't been no hate. We build each other up. We try to build each other up, and like I tell him every day, Teddy's still a beast. He's still a monster. Can't nobody still block him, so, he the man.
That is Micah Johnson as we caught up with him after practice today, talking about Teddy. He's the man. No argument there. You've been around Teddy. You know him. Cool, calm, and collective, and nice to see him pick up his first sack of the season Saturday in Toronto. Hoping for a few more when the Argos come back to town on Friday. And just a reminder, tickets available, ticats.ca. If you want to see the Argos for the first time coming to Tim Hortons Field. And don't worry, these two teams play each other 3 times in the next 4 weeks. So lots of opportunity to familiarize yourself with the Toronto Argonauts. And again, the Ticats sitting at 2-6. They're in a playoff spot. These are 3 huge games in the next 4 weeks, trying to make up ground for first in the East against the Argos. All right, for more on Saturday's game and to look ahead to Friday, very pleased now to be joined by Coach John Salavantis for some Tuesday salutations. And Coach, we have seen that script play out a few times this season for the Tiger Cats, haven't we?
Yeah, you're referring to the late scores by Toronto and the errors made by Hamilton. But I really thought that Matt Dunnigan said it best. You know, he said in the first half, Hamilton hit Toronto in the mouth. But in the second half, Toronto fought back. And Hamilton didn't have the same amount of intensity in that third and fourth quarter.
That's been their issue. Closing games, they've said it, they've acknowledged it. How do they get over this hump? They've played big games before. They've been in the East Final. They've gone to the Grey Cup. What explains the lack of finishing punches that the Ticats seem not to have this year?
Well, I think the most of it has to fall on the quarterback, obviously, because your quarterback has to be that guy that can lead you and carry the team on his shoulders when he needs to. If you look back at the second half of that ball game, they opened up the series on offense with 2 penalties in a row. They had an offside or a procedure call on a tackle, and then they had a fullback lined up 2 and 3 yards off the line of scrimmage, and yet they came back and they went right down the field after that. So they have the ability, but it seems to me that it has to be more of a mindset. You know, in the first half, Don Jackson was dominant, and they were using him very, very well. He was excellent in the runs. He was good in the pass receptions. It seemed like they got away from that. Their old line was playing well. They were protecting the quarterback. And yet, at the same time, we have to admit that the quarterback wasn't on. He wasn't hitting the targets the way he should.
Well, the story of the day, of course, is that the quarterback who played in that game is not practicing right now. Dane Evans out there dressed in street clothes. Matthew Schultz, they went out and got Matthew Schultz this offseason. And for moments like this, when you need him, what have you seen from him this season, and how confident are you in his abilities if he needs to take over the offense on Friday?
Well, in the short times that he's been on the field, he's been very effective. He does a nice job of throwing the football. He can run with it. We saw that even in the Toronto game where they flared him out of the backfield with a 2-quarterback set and threw it to him, and he was able to advance the ball. So, it falls on his shoulders then if in fact Dane Evans is not ready for this ball game, that Schultz has to take over. He's in the system. He understands the system. So it's now a matter of execution on his part.
Looking at the injuries that the Ticats suffered, and again, we'll get a full injury report, but Braylon Addison goes down, Bailey Feltmate goes down, and Feltmate I want to kind of hone in on, because special teams are so important in this game. And when you lose Nick Cross, and then you lose Curtis Newton, and then you lose Bailey Feltmate, can you just talk about the impact that losing those the 2 Canadians, the Newton, well, 3 Canadians on special teams, and what that means for that group?
Well, it's difficult to plug somebody else in, because you're talking about Nick Cross. You're talking about a very experienced guy being able to go downfield and make tackles. And the cover teams have been a little suspect as of late. But the real disaster in this ball game against Toronto on special teams are very correctable mistakes. You had the one error on the goal line where they should have given up the single point. In fact, the ball was picked up with 1 foot in the end zone. That single point would have made a huge difference, I think, in the ball game. Second to that, the block punt was miscommunicated. You count from inside out. And what happened was the back that makes the count for the line either didn't communicate properly, or the line didn't hear it the way they should. You had 2 guys blocking 1. Those are very correctable errors. Those are not disasters that will happen in any given game from now on. I think all of them will be corrected. But you've got to have guys who are willing to go downfield and make tackles. And I think that's one of the reasons why they were so anxious to sign Jones, because Jones can play special teams where Unger has not played any on the specials.
When you look at where the Ticats are right now at 2-6, obviously not where they want to be, but they are in a playoff position and there are still 10 games left to go. How do you reset and look at the next 10 games, knowing still you got 3 of the next 4 against the Argos?
Well, number one, you've got to win those ball games at home. They've got the Argos twice more in Tim Hortons Field, this upcoming ball game and then Labor Day. So they've got to win those 2 games. I feel like those are very important games to show that they can stay in pace with Toronto. At the same time, when we reach Labor Day, how many times over the seasons and years have we talked about the season begins on Labor Day? So we're not out of it by any means, and there should be no panic with the fans and or with the ball club. They just have to correct these mistakes and get on a roll for the second half of the season.
Now, if you were at practice this week, what would you be looking for? Where on the football field would you be focusing your attention in preparation for Friday's game?
Well, in my opinion, with the short time between the 2 games, they should really shorten what happens on the field. Everything on the field should be crisp, but it should be short in time. You know, you don't want to wear them down. You don't play the game on Tuesday afternoon. You play this game on Friday evening. So you've got to prepare yourself for that Friday evening. And I think you want to let up a little bit on the physical part of the game and really bear down on the mental part. These are the mistakes that you've got to correct. Small mistakes must be corrected. Otherwise, they become big mistakes.
Coach Sal, appreciate the insights as always. Thank you for doing this.
You're more than welcome, Louie. Talk to you again.
My thanks to Coach Sal for joining me today. And I did miss a little bit off the top of our news and notes. I know I told you about Dane Evans missing practice, but I did forget to tell you that the Ticats did make a signing today. They've signed national linebacker Miles Manalo. Of course, Manalo spent last season with the Ticats. He's played 3 games before getting hurt. And originally selected in the 6th round, 54th overall in 2021, he did spend time at training camp with the Ticats, but was a cut before the start of the season. And I will not take credit, but I will say I texted someone once I saw Bailey Feltmate go down, and I thought someone should check in to see what Miles Manalo is doing. And it turns out he's ready to rejoin the Ticats, so he's back out there today. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is the only signing we see this week as the Ticats work their way through the injury report and work their way through the next couple of days ahead of Friday. We'll get you set for that game all week here on Ticats Today. We are back tomorrow, same time, same place. Thanks for checking us out on the Ticats Audio Network. I'm Louie Butko. Hoping you have a great day.
Ticats Today can be heard every weekday, and we would like to hear from you. Email us at gameday@ticats.ca. Have a question or an opinion? We want to hear it. That's gameday@ticats.ca. Subscribe to the Ticats Audio Network on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.